everyone. My name is Junius Bennett. I am 100% permanent and total Navy Desert Storm veteran coming to you live from Atlanta, GA. In today's message, I'm going to blow you away about the top 10 disabilities that's being claimed right now in 2022. We're going to share with you the dollar amounts that every veteran are getting or missing out on. So I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to click the like button, subscribe button, comment down below as well, hit the notification button so you'll be notified of new videos that's going to be relevant and pertinent to your claim, okay? Because the whole sole purpose of our channel is to help you and your family have a high value claim, okay? All right, so let's get moving right along. The number one of the top 10 is PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder is on the rise in the VA. We have a lot of different era vets, from the Vietnam era to all the way to the Gulf War era. Sometimes we still have Korean conflict era vets. It just depends on, when you serve. It doesn't matter the era. You're still a veteran. You serve the greatest country in the world, but you saw a lot of traumatic events, okay? But sadly, I'm going to tell you something, that most veterans that are claiming or want to claim PTSD, they have the diagnosis from the VA. They have the medications in their medicine cabinet. They have the groups that they're going to. But does that get you a service connection? There's a lot of different elements and evidence that you need to get service connected for PTSD. That's the reason why 8 out of 10 veterans are lowball claimed or lowball paid. Let's look at the numbers. This is not what I'm saying, not what Junius is saying, not what New Life Veterans is saying. It's saying at the VA.gov website, the benefits.va.gov website, under VBA performance. This is where you find the numbers. Look at VBA performance. All right, now, the most that the veterans are getting are $13,641 a year, and that's less than 70%. Veteran alone, no kids, no dependents, no spouse, no parent to get paid extra. You need to be 30% or more to get the dependent education, the dependent benefits anyway. So I want you guys to kind of lock this in your head. Most veterans are getting paid less than a 70 percentile rating. All right? The rating VA calculator at 70% veteran alone is $18,000. $359.40. That is what 70% pays out. The difference between 13.6 and 18.3 is almost $5,000 a year. Now, the reason why most people are getting paid less, they don't have the right evidence, late statements, they can't provide the trauma event, because the number one thing that the VA is going to do is they're going to retrieve your personnel records. Your personnel records. Personnel records are going to get retrieved. Why do they get the personnel records and not your archive records? The personnel records are something different. It tells a lot more about you as a veteran, where you served, what unit you was in. A lot of information is at the personnel record level. That's what the VA rater is going to request, the personnel record. So when you have that PTSD diagnosis and you got the prescription drugs and you wonder why you're not connected for PTSD, is did you provide the traumatic event? Did you provide the proof that was a service treatment record? If you didn't go to sick call behind that traumatic event, they're like, man, it must have not been so much traumatic to you because you didn't go to sick call while you was on. Then some of your argument like, man, I was a Marine. They were told me I was a lean, mean fighter machine. I was scared to go to the doctor. But that doesn't help you when it comes to the VA. I tell active duty veterans all the time, just because you're gung-ho now, don't mean you're going to be gung-ho in 20 years, 5 years when you get out. You got to be gung-ho now and go to sick call, because the only person that you're going to be dealing with and try to prove your story is not your commanding officer, it's your VA representative, okay? So I want you to understand that if your service treatment records are silent, you never went to sick call behind a traumatic event, but you want to say you got PTSD, oh, they'll be happy to give you a PTSD diagnosis at the VA or your private doctor. They'll be happy to give you prescriptions. That's what they do. Examine you and fill your cabinet up with meds. That's what the VA healthcare does. But we're trying to get paid and we're trying to get medically helped, okay? So you got to have some buddy statements. Guys, You got to go on Google. You got to go on Facebook. You got to Google your unit that you stayed in, you were served with. I was in VAQ 130, VAQ 129. NAS would be out. I was Googling all that kind of stuff. I was on the Dwight D. Eisenhower. I was Dwight John F. Kennedy. I was in Carrier Air Group 3. I remember all that stuff. 20-some years ago, I was Googling to find those buddies. Can y'all tell me how many buddy statements that I submitted as evidence in my C file? I had 5 buddy statements, okay, ladies and gentlemen, and every last one of them was notarized and signed. You guys are missing the mark. You said, well, I got the meds. Well, I'm in the class. Yeah, the VA knows it. They diagnose me. They see me every week for it. That don't mean a hill of beans. Stop it. You got to apply Title 38 Part 4, ladies and gentlemen. Title 38 Part 4 says you got to have a diagnosis, number 1, on everything that you file. Diagnosis, number 1. Number 2, show your in-service event, pre-service event, or after-service event. Number 3, show your medical nexus. That's the number 2 reason why you're not getting service connected, is because you guys think just because you got a diagnosis from the VA, you guys think because you just went to class, and you think you get your meds, and everybody know about your PTSD, and you're supposed to just get it. Well, if it's not a presumptive disease, where they eliminate the requirement of the medical nexus, you're going to need that medical nexus. If, ladies and gentlemen, each veteran knew this number would be higher. You're missing out on the mark for you and your family, and you're a philanthropist. Why did I say you're a philanthropist? Because you're giving money away. Aren't you tired of giving money away? You give all your money away through sales taxes. You give all your money away through property taxes. You give all your money away through payroll taxes. You give all your money away through gas taxes. My state alone, Georgia, makes $250 million, something like that, per month in gas taxes. Aren't you tired of getting beat over the head with tax after tax after tax, and then you too chicken to follow Title 38 Part 4 to get no tax money? How dumb does that sound to me? And I hate to be, kind of reprimanding you this morning. You got a smart watch, you got a smart TV, you got a smart phone, but you are more interested in dumb money than you are in smart money. Because, ladies and gentlemen, these are the top 10. Number 2, migraines. Migraines. You got migraine headaches. It's 2 to 3 times a week. It's got you laying in bed. You got you cranky. You don't talk to your wife. You don't talk to your children. You got the lights off. You got the TV off. You can't even play music. Just leave me the hell alone. You're not filing migraines because you don't have a diagnosis. Some of y'all don't even have a diagnosis. But y'all, I just take over-the-counter medication. Stop it. Stop it. If you want that tax-free money, that smart money, over-the-counter prescriptions is not gonna get it. Gotta go to get your outpatient game right, ladies and gentlemen. Get your outpatient game right by going to the VA or your private physician and complain about your migraines and get the meds on deck. You gotta do it. Then you gotta get if it's not an in-service event of migraines, you're gonna be filing a different theory. Secondary to something that you already connected to. Migraines can be secondary to tinnitus. Now, let's say this is you filing the first time and you're trying to get tinnitus and migraines connected, but you filing migraines secondary to tinnitus. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with filing direct and a secondary at the same time. Now, how do you get the tinnitus? Same thing. Diagnosis, in-service event, medical. It never changes. If you've been outside the military more than 12 months, I don't care what you're claiming. Diagnosis, in-service event, pre-service event, or after-service event, and nexus. Simple as that. Don't deviate, okay? Now, hearing loss. That's another one. Number 4, loss of hearing. Diagnosis, in-service event, complaint of hearing loss, pre-service complaint of hearing loss, or after-service aggravated by something, a nexus. It's plain and simple. Scar. I had a scar from my right nose right here when I got punched out November 6, 1992. Okay? You saying, Julius, how do you get a diagnosis for a scar? Tell them about it. Get your outpatient game on point. Tell your primary care physician you got a scar. Show them the scar. Let them take pictures of it. Let an x-ray. Get all up in the camera with it. You better get your outpatient game right, guys. Get that on record. Diagnosis, Show the in-service event from your service treatment records. Don't let the VA come back and say your service treatment records are silent. Know the game before you submit for the game. Know that you have a scar. Okay, great. They're going to measure the scar at the CMP exam. Do you have to have a nexus for a scar? Absolutely. Same thing applies for PTSD and all the others. You got to apply for something simple as a scar, okay? All right, paralysis of the sciatic nerve. That's number 6. The sciatic nerve is in down your lower extremity. Same thing. Diagnosis, in-service event, pre-service event, or was aggravated by something else, but you still got to have a medical nexus. Never deviate. Limitation of the arm. That's a degenerative joint disease, arthritis disease. You got to go to an orthopedic surgeon for the limitation of the arm. You need the diagnosis from a private doctor or a VA from the beginning on the diagnosis. You need the in-service event where it aggravated in the service or pre-service or was aggravated by something else, maybe your neck or something. I don't know. Limitation of ankle. Limitation of knee. 7, 8, 9. All these are limitations. The less limitation you have, the more severity it is, and the higher your rating is going to be. Remember, with limitations of movement, the less you can move, the more severe it is. But you got to apply Title 38, Part 4. Diagnosis, in-service event, and nexus. Bam! On all of these disabilities. Last but not least, Lumbros, Sacral, or cervical strain. These are the top 10 disabilities that veterans are filing. But it's so sad to me you're filing this, getting service connected, and this is the results. These are the results. You either lacking evidence or lacking nexus. Again, I'm going to say this. You either lacking evidence, reporting it to the VA, your private doctor, putting it on record in your progress notes. You're not providing the adequate. I have printed out progress notes, ladies and gentlemen. I did it all. I did not care. I was going to do what it took to get it done. I'm sorry that there was a video that came through or a phone call that came through. But I want you guys to understand. You want the $18,000 as an average or you want the $13,000 as an average? And if the answer is yes, you need to do a telephone consultation with me right now. 1-800, I'm sorry, I'm calling out my telephone number. I got phones ringing. Excuse me for a minute. I got people calling me. They're going to have to wait. They're going to have to wait. I'm going to get back on camera. Let's see here. I can call them back. This is somebody from Florida. I know I need to call them back. But anyway, I want you guys to understand something. There's a difference. You're above the rest. When you become a New Life Insider, you become above the rest. This is what the average veterans are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not average. You didn't hear about New Life Veterans by accident. Someone told you about New Life Veterans, or the YouTube algorithm referred you to New Life Veterans. Now it's time to go a step further, to be above average. Do you want to remain average and get lowballed and get paid than a 70% rating of veteran loan when you got a spouse and you got kids? Do you really want to be paid? Do you want to continue to get taxed to death? Because there's no relief there's no tax relief on under the things we talked about. Inflation, things are going up even higher, and your income is going backwards because things are going up and your income is staying the same. This is a chance for you to even the playing field. You have an unfair advantage to unlock tax-free income that's tied to inflation every January. We're getting ready to go into clothing allowance season. If you submit the clothing allowance before July 31st, that's an $800 plus check that's going to come to you just because you got a metal brace for disability or a skin irritation for disability. They're going to pay it out to you. That's extra money. So if you really want to change the scenario of the average veteran, 8 out of 10 veterans filing these top 10 injuries, we have doctors, ladies and gentlemen. We have psychologists here for the PTSD and anything else dealing with psychiatric disability. We have ENT specialists, ear, nose, and throat specialists for tinnitus and your hearing loss. We got the doctors for that. We got the doctors for the scar, paralysis of sciatic nerve. These are all orthopedic doctors. We have licensed, board-certified doctors that know the VA law, that know how to write a medical nexus letter with medical rationale. They're standing by for the VA to give them a call to scrutinize their work. They know the game. If they know the game and you know what you need to get home to your family, Isn't it time to do at least a telephone consultation? Go to my website right now, newlifeveterans.com, request a free consultation. There's a telephone number that's going to pop up. You can even call me right then and there. Not saying that I'm going to answer the phone because I might be doing live, I may do a consultation while you're calling, but I will get back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are sick and tired of the rigmarole of the VA, the decision letters that are going out, the incompetencies that you're getting from the VSOs, the lawyers, all the other clutter that's out there, and you want some clear and precise, palatable, step-by-step guideline or blueprint to get a high-value cane, today is your day. Log on right now to newlifeveterans.com. I'll see you at the top and at the bank.